Hi everyone, welcome to the Witching Week. Today is episode 120. In today's episode we are going to be looking at the Lionsgate portal, which peaks today. We're looking at the full moon in Aquarius, which happens tomorrow, 9th of August, and we're going to be having a look at a documentary that I watched recently on Netflix that I really enjoyed. Plus, actually, there's something else. I'm going to show you a picture of someone that I bumped into last weekend. So grab a cup of tea, get comfy, put some incense on, nearly forgot that bit, and we'll explore the Witching Week. Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you for being here, thank you for watching. If you're new to the Witching Week, then welcome. Every Friday we get together for a cup of tea and a chinwag. We look at the happenings of the week and anything interesting that's coming up, the turn of the wheel and the change of the seasons. How are you all doing? Have you had a good week? Today I am drinking, oh I forgot, I threw the packet away. I'm drinking, it says on my cup of tea, hang on. I'm drinking cranberry and raspberry by Twinings, and I am trying for the first time one of the super hit range, which I think might be new, Arabian Night. Super hit was originally just the one in the black box, and now there's a whole range of them. I can't say that I'm too impressed with this one. It smells, yeah, it's a bit nondescript really. It's a little bit like Nag Champa, but not as nice. But yeah, nothing really to write home about, unfortunately. This is the first stick of it that I'm actually burning as we're talking. So yeah, give it a go. Why not? So we have gone past Lunasa. We are working our way towards autumn now. There are changes, all sorts of changes, and boy, can you feel it. Let me know if it's like that where you are. I'd love to hear whereabouts in the world you are, what the weather's doing, are there any seasonal changes? Has the weather been the same the whole time? Has it been unusual? Here we've had lots of rain. Like I said last week, since Within's Day, we've just had non-stop rain, and it's dark now. It just gone 9. I mean, there's still sunlight, but it is a very, very different picture, and I'd say that the air feels a bit damper. It's a lot cooler, especially in the mornings, and then quite often we'll get to the afternoon and it's the clothes that you put on in the morning don't work for the afternoon. The sunlight has a very, very different quality to it. It's much more muted and it just feels different. There is a sense of autumn in the air. When I unlock the cemetery gate in the mornings, you can feel the autumn in the air. It's that crispness, it's that freshness. There's a smell, although I don't think it's an actual smell, but it's something that we inhale and we breathe in, and it feels very, very different to high summer. So today is the 8th of August, so we have the Lionsgate portal, which is considered a highly auspicious time, and it is considered a time when you can basically manifest anything that you desire. It's actually a period of time rather than a specific date. It's been celebrated by many ancient cultures, and this year the Lionsgate portal opened on the 28th of July and it closes on the 12th of August, and the 8th is always considered the peak of this moment in time because we have that nice numerology of 8-8. The portal is actually the moment that the sun, which is in the sign of Leo, hence incorporating the word lion, it's in alignment with the star Sirius, Orion's belt and Earth as viewed from Egypt apparently. So Sirius, as we know, is the brightest star in the sky apart from the sun, and what was I going to say? It's considered a spiritual sun, and we spoke about it earlier, didn't we, when we were talking about the dog days of summer, so back at the beginning of July, which are considered to be the dog days of summer. So Sirius brings with it, according to spiritual belief, wealth, abundance, good fortune, good luck, prosperity, all those really lovely things. And when we look at the numerology of number 8, we are of course thinking of mastery and control and all sort of, being in control of things. destiny and opportunity, optimism, transformation, material wealth, success. It's also the number of Saturn, which of course brings with it life lessons and sometimes a feeling that we're being restricted, and you know, there are certain things that we have to learn before we're able to move on. Number 8 is also considered the balance between the material and the spiritual world. So there's a lot going on here, and August the 8th is also the sort of the midway point for the sun being in the sign of Leo. So we have themes of alignment and balance. And then, of course, when we think of Leo, we think of this lovely outward, gregarious energy. We think of confidence. We think of boldness. We think of leadership. We think of just joy and movement and action. And so all of these energies combined are considered absolutely brilliant for manifestation. I haven't put my teeth in today. And manifestation in particular, so this day in particular is considered one of the most powerful in the whole year. So lots of powerful energy going on here. So what kind of magic can you do with the Lion's Gate portal? Well, you can use any manifestation practices that you may have. Meditation is a very helpful tool at this time of year. You can make intentions, and you can work with yellow crystals in particular. So your amber, your yellow jasper, and especially citrine, which again comes with that energy of wealth and abundance and prosperity and attracting those things and manifestation and joy and positivity, because let's face it, those are wonderful things. You can do spells for those things I've just mentioned, abundance, wealth, all of the things that are associated with this portal. Healing, especially spiritual healing, new beginnings, strength, so when we think of the number 8 in tarot, and taking action really. This is a time for taking action, really getting down what it is that you want, what it is you desire, and what it is you want to achieve. Tarot is a great time to do tarot, so you could pick 3 cards. The first card showing your present reality and any challenges you might face. The second card would be anything that you're going to leave behind after the Lion's Gate portal has opened. And then the last card would show you how you are moving to align more fully with your soul's calling and your soul's purpose. Of course, you can employ mantras and affirmations at this time of year in regards to abundance and prosperity and manifestation, and you could do some journaling. You might have done some last year and you might want to compare notes, and this might help you with your magical work and your spell work in terms of what you want to manifest. So basically just employ any of the spiritual methods that you enjoy or work particularly well for you, and just work with those themes that we've just spoken about. And yeah, I hope it all works out for you. I hope you manifest your heart's truest desire. So this week I managed to find some time to watch a documentary on Netflix called Shark Whisperer, and it features Ocean Ramsey, who is an American model and conservationist. She has worked tirelessly, and I mean tirelessly, to educate people on sharks and show that they are not scary monsters, that they are beautiful creatures. She is based in Hawaii. She has so far swum with 47 species of shark around the world. And personally, I think that she is absolutely brilliant, but she has been heavily criticised by some people. So she's very much a character who splits opinion. Some people are really, really for her. They like her methods, they like what she has done. And then there are those who have criticised her. They say that what she's doing is dangerous. So she swims with sharks, and her husband records these moments and they share them on social media. They say that she's silly, that she's putting other people at risk who might decide that they want to do this. And they say that she is going to ultimately be killed in one of these encounters. Of course, because she is a woman and because she's an attractive woman at that, who is just she's just goddess-like. She's just perfect when you look at her. She is just, her beauty that is in within just shines out, and of course lots of people don't like that, so there's been lots of body shaming, lots of comments about who she is physically, but personally I'm for her because she has managed, after going to court several times over quite a long period of time, she has managed to change the law in Hawaii, and it is now illegal to kill sharks. So the problem was there would be the odd shark attack and then a load of sharks would be killed, and we have to remember that we are entering the shark's territory when we go in the sea. It's not the other way round. And I would ask these people that criticise her heavily, what have they done? What have they done to change things? What have they done for conservation? And there are some conservationists who criticise her, so you know, fair enough, people are entitled to their opinions. However, she hasn't just swum with the sharks and made beautiful videos and that's that. It's not about self-promotion. She is actually making positive changes for our planet. So I absolutely adore her. She's showing people that sharks are not menacing killers who are out to get people. You know, of course they are dangerous animals, and she is very aware that she's putting herself at risk. And she accepts that risk, and she's of the opinion that if she does get munched, if she does die doing what she's doing, then, you know, in a way that will be a fitting death. But I'm behind her absolutely 100%. She says that this feels like her spiritual calling. She belongs in the water. She can now hold her breath for just shy of 7 minutes, 6 minutes and 45 seconds, which is absolutely incredible. I mean, we know there are people around the world who are able to do this. We don't just see it in people who are doing sports, people like Ocean who have adapted to being in the water. There are indigenous communities who actually live on boats and spend a lot of their time in the water. So we know that people can do this and can evolve and can sort of, their bodies can become sort of attuned to doing this. I can't find my words today, but yeah, absolutely incredible. So go and check that documentary out. I thought it was really lovely. It showed both the positive and the negative opinions about her. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I hope you do too. So at the moment, the hedgerows and the trees are absolutely jam-packed with fruit, and I really need to get on and find some time and get out there and pick some of the goodies that are on offer. I took some pictures about 6 days ago, so things have come on a lot since then. I've seen, on my travels out and about, I've seen pears, I've seen apples, I've seen blackberries galore. They're now out in their full glory since I took this picture, and same with the elderberries. So now is the time. Obviously there are some geographical differences. You know, things might be different where you are in the UK or indeed elsewhere in the world, but go out and have a look. I also really enjoyed looking at these buddleias. So there is an alley that I use when I go out for a walk. It's right at the beginning of my journey, and I just cut through it to get out to where I want to be. And it is full of buddleias, mainly purple, but I've noticed a white one. So I don't know if that is actually like an albino or whether that is a variation. I think it's just a variation of colour. Of course, they're known as the butterfly bush, and the butterflies absolutely adore them. I know that some people hate buddleias because they're often growing sort of down alleys and on scrubland and old industrial estates that have been abandoned and some sort of not so great places, but they're really good for our ecosystem, and I actually think they're beautiful. They have a lovely sort of big purple cone that's really densely packed full of flowers, so I really like them. But anyway, I wanted to show you a couple of books in relation to fruit. So I found this one in a charity shop. I might have shown you last year, I can't remember, but it's called A Glut of Apples and Pears. So there's lots of recipes in here, savoury as well as sweet, things that you can do with your apples and pears, but there's lots of really practical wisdom and advice in these books, these old-fashioned books. I do think that some of our newer cookery books and our newer sort of resources on these things actually do lack a lot of the old knowledge that people have. You find books like this, and then something like this you just probably won't see again. But have a look, keep your eyes peeled when you go to the Chazza shop and see if you can find this book. I really like this book. I haven't actually made anything out of it yet, which is not good, but I intend to. I do intend to. And then another book that I've got is this one, which I might have shown you before, Traditional Jams and Preserves. And again, just has some really fantastic hints and tips and little bits of wisdom that you might not pick up elsewhere. There's all sorts of lovely recipes in here. So for example, there's apple and elderflower jam. Now that's a funny one, isn't it? Because the elderflowers are not actually available really until sort of June time, end of May, June time. But apples are not ready until later on in the season. So I'm not sure really how you would make that one work. I suppose you could freeze some apples. Anyway, it doesn't matter, does it? This is full of brilliant recipes, and it does have brilliant recipes. There's blackberry and sloe gin jelly, blackcurrant jelly, bramble jelly, elderberry jelly, crabapple jelly, grape jelly, mint and apple jelly, pear and pomegranate jelly. It goes on and on and on. This is an absolutely brilliant book. And actually, it was one of these ones that I just picked up really cheaply. I think it was like in the Works or something, or it was in a discount section somewhere. And I've seen these around. I've got a soup one as well, and they're just really, well, sold really cheaply, just for sort of like a few quid, 5 or 6 quid perhaps. But yeah, well worth having a look at. See if you can get a copy of that secondhand or something online. Lots of lovely recipes for this time of year, and I'm having to try and sort of think, because I think this time of year looks a bit dull. Until you look more closely, it's a bit dull. Like the grass is dull where we've had hot weather. It still hasn't really recovered, even though we've had rain solidly since the 15th of July. There are no sort of flowers really. There's no elderflowers out. There's no flowers on the hawthorn anymore. Everything's kind of gone really, apart from gardens where, you know, obviously you've got flowers and shrubs and things like that. And just in terms of the countryside, it all looks a bit dull. But then when you look closer and you actually look at what's growing, because obviously the flowers turn into the berries, don't they, and turn into the fruit. So yeah, I'm trying to switch my brain from, yes, at a glance, it doesn't look as pretty, but we've got the fruit instead. We've got all this glorious food available to us. So last weekend, I bumped into a friend of mine, just joking. I met Craig Revel-Horwood at a local fete. He was opening the fete. He lives in one of the villages, I'd say in this area, a little bit further out, but he obviously knows somebody in one of our local villages. I live rurally, in case you don't know. Tiny, tiny village. Absolutely cracking fete. It wasn't very big, but lots of people went along. They were raising money for the church roof and some repointing, I think. Aren't they always raising money for church roofs? I mean, I know roofs are expensive. I know they take a lot of wear and tear, but the church is one of the richest sort of organisations in the entire world. But anyway, I am not a Strictly fan. My parents are. So I asked him if I could have a photo, and he did oblige. He was very gracious. He was a bit scary, I have to say. I don't know if he was grumpy because I asked him. I mean, lots of people did, and he gave a full smile for the photo. I did find him a bit intimidating. He's very tall, and he had this fabulous Evil Queen t-shirt on, or should I say fabulous, because I know he stretches his words out. That's his trademark, isn't it? He scored the local Morris on their dancing, and then they scored him on opening the fete. So it was a lot of fun. It was for a good cause, and it was just brilliant. And lots of people came along. It was one tiny field. It had just a little bit of everything, but wow, not even that. It had a little bar, it had some food, it had a stall where you could put a pin on the map and guess where the treasure was. It had a plant stall, there was a wonderful band from Corby playing, and there was, I think that was it, but it was lovely and so many people came along. It was supposed to rain, but believe it or not, the rain held off. So the rain was supposed to happen during the time of the fete, but didn't happen and came after. So yeah, it was absolutely brilliant and a lot of fun to meet Craig Revel Horwood. And yeah, thank you, Craig, if you're watching. As if, so funny. It took me ages to pluck up the courage to ask him. I don't like bothering people. I've been out with my best friend, well, there was a group of us, and we were at Avebury one year for summer solstice, and Bill Bailey turned up, and my friend was just straight in there. She's not shy at all, and she got her photo taken with him, and I think it did draw attention to him. Suddenly everyone knew that Bill Bailey was there, but I didn't go over because I'm actually really shy. So for me to ask Craig Revel Horwood was stepping out of my comfort zone. The same friend and I, so we're always bumping into people in fields, and this is kind of a continuation of that actually. We did actually meet Professor Alice Roberts at Hillfort, 9 miles away from me, and that was in the absolute middle of nowhere. And yeah, we met her, had our photograph taken with her. I have to say, I'm sorry, Professor Alice Roberts, if you're watching. I love that, as if any of these people are going to be watching. I have to say, no, I'm not going to say it. I won't say it. All I'll say is I was a little bit intimidated by her as well. And then who else have we? Oh yeah, my friend, the same friend, she bumped into Charlie, is it Hunnam? I don't know how to say his name, the Sons of Anarchy guy. She bumped into him in, wait for it, a field. She was actually walking some cliffs and she met him. So there's a bit of a joke here about us meeting celebrities in fields. I guess they go to fields because they don't want to be bothered by anyone. They don't want to bump into people, but because we're always in fields, we do. So anyway, moving on. Tomorrow is the full moon in Aquarius, August the 9th. It is the sturgeon moon. This lunation is all about letting go of what is standing in your way so that you can become who you are truly meant to be. I think this ties in really perfectly actually with the Lionsgate portal. When we try and manifest things, we have to let go of other things, we have to accept our reality, and we have to put our energy into deciding that something else is going to be our reality, the thing that we're manifesting. So I think these two energies, you know, they are coexisting. I think this is a brilliant time this weekend for magic. So you might be feeling a calling, you might be feeling that there is more of you to offer the world, or that you've not yet done that, and you'll be shown the way this full moon. Apparently you'll be able to break the mold of how people around you and society sees you. So very, very positive time where you'll be choosing freedom and truth and authenticity and following your heart. And I think it's fair to say, not that I've seen this word mentioned anywhere, but I would say that means joy. If you're able to be your authentic self, there is a freedom in that. If you're able to follow your heart, then of course there is joy in that. There is joy in all of this. My next topic is Patreon. I'm inviting you to come and join us. We have got some really fantastic things coming our way over the next few months. We are learning all about the moon and lunar magic at the moment. In September, we are doing planetary magic. There's a lot of theory this month and the next. And then in October, we have a lot of practical things coming up. We are doing Samhain witchcraft, a few fun Halloweeny things in there as well. So I just wanted to let you know some of the things that we will be doing. We have got a ritual coming up, drawing down the moon. We're looking at herbs and plants of the moon. We have got a book review on a herbal plant book. I am doing an interview with a very fascinating lady about the moon, witchcraft and Islam. We have got some recipes coming up, so autumn apple cake, some cobweb cupcakes. I have got a Samhain / Halloween craft. I might have more than that by the time we get there, but we've got definitely one. We are looking at the planetary magic of Saturn. We're looking at spell planning and days of the week. We are looking at augury, so we've got a bit of an augury exercise running at the moment, so we'll be doing that and then checking back in with that. We will be looking at sharing ancestor items. We're going to be learning about traditional egg cleansing, and I'll be sharing one of those. My recipe for black salt. I've got a knot ritual for Samhain to do with connecting with your ancestors. There is so much good stuff coming up. So this is a place where I can translate a lot of things to the written word. Yes, I'm on YouTube and I do videos here. Obviously, that is a video platform. There are videos over on Patreon. There are exclusive videos as well over there. And you get early access to the witchcraft videos that are shared here. And then you get all these written articles and practical things. So it is well worth joining us. So if you want a friendly, helpful, lovely community, this is my teaching space. So it's not like being on Facebook or Instagram. Everybody that has joined my community is what I would call a true witch or druid or magical practitioner. Everybody has really, really great integrity, such a beautiful group of people. I'm so proud of my group and the people in it. So if this sounds like something that appeals to you, and the benefit is that it's up to you whether you get involved in that community or not. There's some chat rooms, but you don't have to use those. You can just quietly learn the witchcraft. Watch the exclusive Hexerei witchcraft lesson each month. Generally, we have one every month, except for maybe 1 month of the year, depending on what's happening and where we are. God, I can't talk today. I can't talk. Anyway, you get the idea. October, for example, we've got 2 recipes as it stands at the moment of 5 really lovely rituals. There's going to be more by the time I get to October. We usually have quite a jam-packed October. Last year, I think I had 2 posts every day. We had a witchcraft post and then a spooky story. I've got a slightly different angle this year. It's a lot more practical. It's a lot more focused on Samhain and sort of the magic around then. It's going to kind of take its own shape over the next couple of months as I put it together, but I have started and there is lots of juicy things on there, so come and join us. And now I'm going to do a reading from the Year of Pagan Prayer. And when I planned this, this video, I forgot to actually choose the reading, so I'm going to have to find one quickly and try and remember which ones I have read to you and which ones I haven't. I'm going to put an edit in here to give me a chance to find one. Hang on. Okay, so I've chosen a poem. It is From the Thunder Perfect Mind, which is anonymous. This was written before 350 CE and is translated by Anne Maguire. This is only an excerpt, but it's quite long, and it says, "The extraordinary poem from which this excerpt comes, the subject of much scholarly debate, is part of the Nag Hammadi, a cache of early Gnostic and Christian texts discovered in Egypt in 1945. The speaker is clearly a goddess who promises everlasting life to her followers. Although she is never named, it seems to me reasonable to consider her a manifestation of Isis, the foremost goddess of Egypt, particularly since she says that her image is multiple in Egypt. This hymn is not, however, part of traditional Isaic worship." Don't know if I said that right. Anyway, let's go for it. "I was sent from the power, and I have come to those who think upon me, and I was found among those who seek after me. Look at me, you who think upon me, and you hearers, hear me. You who are waiting for me, take me to yourselves, and do not pursue me from your vision. And do not make your sound hate me, nor your hearing. Do not be ignorant of me at any place or any time. Be on guard. Do not be ignorant of me. For I am the first and the last. I am the honoured and the scorned. I am the harlot and the holy one. I am the wife and the virgin. I am the mother and the daughter. I am the members of my mother. I am the barren one and the one with many children. I am she whose marriage is multiple, and I have not taken a husband. I am the midwife and she who does not give birth. I am the comforting of my labour pains. I am the bride and the bridegroom. It is my husband who begot me. I am the mother of my father and the sister of my husband, and he is my offspring. I am the servant of him who prepared me, and I am the Lord of my offspring. But he is the one who begot me before time on a day of birth, and he is my offspring in time, and my power is from him. I am the staff of his power in his youth, and he is the rod of my old age, and whatever he wills happens to me. I am the incomprehensible silence and the much remembered thought. I am the voice of many sounds and the utterance of many forms. I am the utterance of my name. Why, you who hate me, do you love me? And hate those who love me? And who deny me, confess me. And you who confess me, deny me. You who speak the truth about me, tell lies about me. And you who have told lies about me, speak the truth about me. You who know me, become ignorant of me. And may those who have been ignorant of me come to know me. For I am knowledge and ignorance. I am shame and boldness. I am unashamed. I am ashamed. I am strength and I am fear. I am war and I am peace. Give heed to me. I am the disgraced and the exalted one. Give heed to my poverty and my wealth. Do not be haughty to me when I am discarded upon the earth, and you will find me among those that are to come. And do not look upon me on the garbage heap and go and leave me discarded, and you will find me in the kingdoms. And do not look upon me when I am discarded among those who are disgraced and in the least places, and then laugh at me. And do not cast me down among those who are slain in severity. But as for me, I am merciful and I am cruel. Be on guard. Do not hate my obedience, and do not love my self-control in my weakness. Do not forsake me, and do not be afraid of my power. Why then do you despise my fear and curse my pride? I am she who exists in all fears and boldness and trembling. I am she who is weak, and I am well in pleasure of place. I am foolish, and I am wise. Why have you hated me in your counsels? Is it because I shall be silent among those who are silent? And I shall appear and speak. Why then have you hated me, you Greeks? Because I am a non-Greek among non-Greeks. For I am the wisdom of Greeks and the gnosis of non-Greeks. I am judgment for Greeks and non-Greeks. I am the one whose image is multiple in Egypt, and the one who has no image among non-Greeks. I am she who has been hated everywhere and who has been loved everywhere. I am she who is called life, and you have called death. I am she who is called law, and you have called lawlessness. I am the one you have pursued, and I am the one you have restrained. I am the one you have scattered, and you have gathered me together. Before me you have been ashamed, and you have been unashamed with me. I am she who observes no festival, and I am she whose festivals are many. Behold then his utterances, and all the writings that have been completed. Give heed then, listeners, and you also angels, and those who have been sent, and you spirits who have arisen from the dead. For I am the one who alone exists, and I have no one who will judge me. For many are the sweet forms that exist in numerous sins, and unrestrained acts, and disgraceful passions, and temporal pleasures, which are restrained until they become sober, and run up to their place of rest. And they will find me there, and they will live, and they will not die again. Wow. Wow. that is quite emotional, I think. There were a few moments when I was reading that and I felt quite moved. Anyway, let's do some tarot before I cry. I have been such an emotional wreck this week. I think it's my hormones. I'm at that age where I feel everything very, very deeply. So let's move on to some tarot. I've got myself together. Not that it matters to cry, but that's not what the Witching Week's about. So let's do some tarot. God, I've been all over the place in this one. But did you notice I managed to read that? I am still a bit out of breath. I do still get out of breath when I talk for long periods of time, but I couldn't have read like 4 passages of that before without really struggling. When we would do the occasional reading at the Moot, I'd have to get Justin to read things, my husband, because I didn't have the puffs. So that is quite an improvement. So that was an interesting experiment. Let me know in the comments what you've been doing this week, and say what you've been doing today. Let me know what you've been doing today, whatever. I would love to hear, and thank you if you've left a comment. I really, really appreciate it. I do read all of them, even if it takes me a little while to get to them sometimes. And occasionally I have to say that sometimes I'm not shown the comments. Sometimes they occasionally disappear, which is a bit of a pain. But sometimes it puts them into another folder and I have to go seek them. So if I've not responded to one of your comments, it might be that I'm yet to get to it. Okay, so we have got 4 cards here. They are absolutely bonkers. So my deck is well shuffled. I had clients this week. It has been extremely well shuffled. Before the Witching Week, I always make the intention to kind of get the deck ready. I then shuffle during filming the Witching Week. I do a cut in the middle as well because I spend so long shuffling. And we have got 3 knights. So we've got the Knight of Swords, we have got the Knight of Wands, we've got the Knight of Cups, and we've got Strength. So this message kind of feels like do whatever the fuck you want, but know that you've got the strength to do it. We'll break it down a little bit more. So the Knight of Swords, I always urge great caution when that card comes up. Don't go rushing in. And then the Knight of Wands, who I call Indiana Jones, that's where I say be bold and just go for it and don't really worry too much about stuff. What I will say is be cautious of other people. I think that's where we're going to go with this one. Just be aware, be cautious that sometimes there are people with their own agendas who aren't necessarily nice people with integrity, and sometimes they can cause us issues, and sometimes they are looking to trip us up, to allow us to fall. And so whilst I do sort of want to say to you, go for it, be bold, be courageous, jump right in, do the thing, definitely do the thing, but just be aware. Just keep your guard a little bit. I think we're looking for a happy medium between these two. So yeah, do it. You should absolutely do the thing. If you have been thinking of doing the thing, or you've been, the thing finally comes up, then do it. But just be aware of the people around you. And I say expect the unexpected as well. Expect the unexpected. Sometimes we can be thrown a bit of a curveball, but I want you to know that within you, within everyone, there is a well of strength, of courage, of tenacity that you might not even know that you've got. So when I think of the Strength card, I think of the term you're stronger than you think. When people say that you're stronger than you think, that really does embody the energy of the Strength card. You have mastery over yourself. You might sometimes feel that you're ill-equipped for situations, but you're not. So when you do the thing, when you throw caution to the wind, except around people, when you go, right, I'm going to be bold, I'm going to be courageous, I am going to step out of my comfort zone and do this, know that you have what it takes. You have that wild wisdom and power, those animal instincts that quite often we don't realise are even in there. And you do have mastery over this. You're not out of control, you're in control. And just have a little bit of compassion for yourself, give yourself a little bit of grace. It's okay, especially when we're trying new things, especially when we're taking risks. It's okay to get some things wrong. So just tune into that raw animal, powerful energy that you don't even realize is there. It's deep within you, it's there. You have got that, and just go do the thing. That's going to be my phrase, I think, for this week's Witching Week. This is the phrase for your week ahead. Do the thing. Just go for it. Just be brave. Do the thing. All right, on that note, I wish you an absolutely lovely Friday evening and a great witching weekend and a fabulous witching week. And I'll be back next Friday with another episode. Okay, sending you so much love.